Gents, ladies, and non-binary entities, welcome back. My name is C28, and I'm almost done with the first week. That's right, the first week is almost complete. Just finished the lecture. We have a joint lab, coming up in a few minutes. I think like 2 hours, something like that for me. So shooting this video real quick while I got the time. So today we were going into it's called the backline, I believe. Is that accurate? Is that correct? That is correct. Essentially rigging for all of your instruments and getting stuff sent over to the for the house for mixing. So I went into a lot of detail, very specific stuff with instruments and specific types of the type of instruments. So not just what do you do for your drums, but what do you do for your floor drum, your kick? What do you do if it's this type of kick? What do you do for this type of kick? Like, we go in massive detail with these things. And even like crazier instruments that, like we went into some ethnic instruments that would be kind of strange to mic up. Or just like, I'm trying to think. Like even a drum's hat can be weird to mic up sometimes. So, just weird mic stuff. But overall, yeah, just going over how do you mic things up? How do you wire them in? And also we went into some pre-production stuff where we were talking about, what was the name of that thing? That thing was called literally just pre-production paperwork. But stuff like input lists of where front of house is expecting things to be placed. So you get a request from the artist on what's needed, and then the front of house engineer can go work through, be like, okay, cool. So we got this, and this. Okay, so I want this here, this here, this here, boom. Pushes it out to everyone who's going to be working on the stage, and they will route things as front of house dictates. So they can expect the right things to be coming through. And then say in the event that you have a thing you're not expecting, well, that goes last. So say you have like your band came in and they say, yeah, we got a 5 piece kit and a hat. We got 2 rides and that's what we got. Well then you might get like, I don't know, 6 or 7 mics for your drums. Maybe 10 if you want overheads or something like that. But then they bring in another piece, like, oh shoot, we forgot, we have a cowbell we want you to mic up. Well, cowbell will just go in the very last bit. So you have like your drums, your bass, your guitar, your keys, your vocals, so whatever. And all the way at the end, then you get your cowbell because it wasn't expected. So even how to handle situations like that. What was the thing on... Yeah, we talked a lot on different variants of different types of things like amps, different mics that you could use, why you would use them for different situations. We only briefly touched on mics, but miking up an amp, for instance, was one thing that we went over, where you actually want the mic to be as close as possible to the diaphragm of the speaker. So whatever's producing the sound, you want it as close as you can get it there. Actually, you don't want all that ambient noise that you're going to get. Plus, you get some polarity issues when you have it too far away. So, right up against it if you can. We went over that a little bit in the last lab yesterday. So, that was cool. Learned a lot about polarity and cool things you can do to get rid of polarity issues. So, that's fun. I'm feeling a lot more confident with the terms previously and how things are working previously. Essentially, so far what we've learned is how to use a really complex extension cord. That is the stupid summarization of it. It's not that simple. But if I were to say how confident I feel, I'd say, yeah, it's basically, it's like extension cords. You know, you're just plugging stuff in and route it somewhere else. But you got a lot of different versions of that. A lot of places you can put it. A lot of reasons to put it in different places. Different types of, not machines, but like boxes, things you have to use, splitters, to route signal properly without losing power, without having to worry about signal loss, delay, latency, stuff like that. Lots and lots of stuffs. So I do have more stuff to say. So we have a lab that's coming up, like I said, in a few hours, and that lab will be going into digital consoles. So we were previously working with an analog console, and we actually had a really cool lab last time where we were able to bring in our own instruments. They had some set up. Of course, I didn't say I bring in Liz, and I did. And so we were able to hook it up and mess with it, play around a bit. We had some cool rhythms going with the matriarch and the guitar. We didn't really get a whole band thing going, unfortunately, but that's all right. I still enjoyed having the matriarch plugged in, and everyone else thought it was pretty cool. It was cool. I did actually get some video, so not me playing, but here's one of my classmates. I'll see if I can blur out or censor the face in post on YouTube, so I'll do that. Future me, please don't forget. Here we go. So yeah, it was a very, very cool little thing getting to do that. And I hope we get more opportunities to test out our gear like that. And it was really cool, first time having Liz on a stage like that, having it properly set up, where the matriarch is routed as it would if I were actually doing a concert. Now we know how that works. That's super cool. And there are a crazy amount of different splitters we use for all the instruments. And it's mad thinking about how analog and digital differ in terms of just cables alone. The amount of cables you don't have to deal with when you go to digital, whew, it's probably nice, because we had a mad amount of cables to work with because we're using analog tech. And I guess I'll see how much easier it is now that we switched to digital in the new lab. So I'll see that in a few hours. Yeah. I think that about does it for class stuff. So yeah, first week we're pretty much going into setup, and that's it. We're just going into the setup of how you get the event ready. So that's everything from planning to your build up, but not yet execution. We haven't gotten there yet. I predict we'll do a little bit of that in the lab that I'm about to go to. And then next week, I know for sure we're going to be doing a lot of that. A lot of execution, of doing stuff. And then Teardown will have its own section, I imagine. I literally could just look right now at the itinerary, but I'll just let it surprise me, you know? Focus on one thing at a time. Or three. But focus on what we've got going on now. So far, yeah, I think I've definitely learned a lot about how the live audio industry operates, and it's quite enticing, I will say. It definitely pays stupid good if you're in the right place. If you're in just a decent place, it pays stupid well. But I don't think I'm going to defect to show production. Show Pro is a degree program that a lot of recording arts students will defect to because they're like, whoa, I actually prefer Show Pro. While I think Show Pro is awesome and it's really cool, and I would love to do it eventually, that'd be a cool little thing to do for some time, my heart is still in audio. It's in making sounds sound good. That's what I've said from the start, and that still holds true. Is the thing I want to do is I want to make sounds sound good. That's the primary thing. Now you do that in live audio. You make sound sound good. That's what you do is for a house. You're mixing, you're making sure the levels are right. You're making sure that the actual quality, the equalization of things is good. There's a lot of stuff about making sound sound good. But I like to be meticulous. You can't be spending an hour or two on a mix when it's being played live for about 3 minutes. Live audio is different in that realm. You're still doing a lot of really cool shit, but it's different. So I still would love to work for companies like Valve and whatnot in the future. Perhaps get C2H Music as a business really up and out there. That would be cool. See what happens. So, indeed. I don't have too much C2H news for you. I am still planning out what I'm going to do in my head for the 1K special. Because we're going to use all the patch cables. We know that's happening. We know it's going to be a pure production episode. What else makes it fun? Yes, I'm going to give you the sound at the end. I'm going to sample the whole instrument, do different things. So different pressure will give you different sounds. I'll do that. But still, what will make it special and stand out? And I'm still not sure. I want to do something like camera angles. I want to be able to get a side camera and a face down camera, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I might borrow one of my mates' phones. I might use my laptop and get the MacBook to screen record, and I'll look at the MacBook when I speak to you. Because using this thing right now, this little mirror, it's not it. It's just not ideal. If I could get it set up properly, that'd be nice. As I've seen like True Cuckoo do it super well, but I don't know, it seems difficult to properly set up. You always see me fiddling with it, like, shoot, that's not quite what I wanted to do. But I digress. I'll be shooting that in about half a week from now. And then control voltages, you'll get early access. As soon as it's shot and uploaded, you'll see it. Rest of y'all will see it on Friday. Yeah, so a little Friday special. That really does it for this episode. So, yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I will get back to you and post your comment in the space around if it's substantial enough. Don't ask me what my favorite ice cream flavor is. I will not post that around the space. But if you do that now, because it's specifically that question, I will. But other, mundane things, I'll just answer you and be like, yeah, and it won't go up in space. Yes. If you enjoyed today's episode and other things like this, you can subscribe and YouTube will give you more like it. If you super enjoyed it, you can join, become a control voltage, and you get access to the Discord server, early access to videos, behind the scenes content, and a little bit more in the future. We'll see. Well, that about does it. So I hope you all take care of yourselves. God be with you, and goodbye, YouTube.